Seniors rule, freshmen drool.
I said, your homeboy.
What?
I said, your homeboy.
What?
I don't remember the rest.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
That's all I remember.
In living color. Hey guys, we are here at the new store, as you can no doubt tell by the luscious walls behind us. And today on the show, we're going to take another quick look. You can see some of the construction that's going on around here, some of the still work in progress that's happening. By the way, I went to use the bathroom back there, and I don't know if it's just because the toilets haven't been used in so long, but the water in the bowl, it was like in Goonies. When they ask for a glass of water and it gives them that brown goo in the glass, like that's what was in the toilet. Maybe that's from your dad. I don't know.
Maybe that's from you. Maybe
No,
you should check your diet.
mine was just straight urine. But regardless,
All the coffee you was drinking.
there's a lot of construction still going on, but we're plugging away. We're gonna have the new store open January 1st, and have our studio set up back there so we can get more stuff done.
So I guess I'll just go ahead and show you real quick how that's gonna look. And then we'll talk about that more in a second. Okay, so here goes the walkthrough part 2 of what we've done so far. We just, set mirrors against the wall there. Still have not moved in yet, but we got a couple weeks, probably about 2 weeks before we need to be in here. We got some vital things like, the vacuum cleaner. We got a garbage can there.
Woo!
Some of the trading cards that came here.
Are we actually gonna have a trash can on the floor? Like for customers to throw their trash in?
Yeah, that's why I bought this extra trash can.
What?
That's what this is for.
That is a first.
That's the new garbage can.
That is a first.
Let's see. And so there's some of the construction crap. There's some doors, some mirrors that we ripped out. Some more crap. Now, if you remembered, this was all dressing rooms. There was 4 on this side, and there was 2 on this side, and this was just a straight hallway, and that door was not there. So we knocked out all of these dressing rooms. This will be our new gaming room. We started up to wall up the 2 that were here. We'll show you that room in a minute. And then we cut this new door. See, there's the door handle and everything. To go to our new break room and studio room and bathrooms to start back here. There's some product coming in. And in here, which was the storage room and computer working room, we cut this new door here. We just cut a hole in the wall. And this will be where we put our kids if they ever come during the day when we're here. And these would have been the 2 changing rooms. And we got some stuff to still fix here. So that's that situation.
So have you figured out where everything's going to go out here yet?
And no, that's the problem. See, in the next couple of days, we're going to have to start, bringing more of the back stock of the store here in this coming week. And I think signage might be starting this week. We'll hopefully by the end of the week get our new display cases and all that stuff. And then we'll have to put those together and put them in here. And then just some minor stuff. And then after Christmas, we'll start moving in this entire store.
Are we going to leave this pink? Can we leave this pink, please? Big pink counter?
We do have to fix this because, as you can tell, down here there's some situations going on.
Can we paint that pink?
But I don't know if it's going to be pink or not. And
Actually,
this is the progress.
It's kind of what, puce? Is that what this color is? It's not really pink.
It's like a champagne pink. I don't know. It's pretty mute. So this is what we got going on so far. So there it is.
Oh, and we're back.
That's the store.
All right.
That's what's going on, and that's the situation. So I don't know how you're
all right. Well,
feeling.
here, wait. Let me ask you this. Okay, as the store's going, what's our timetable? Because right now we've got about a week and a half till Christmas.
Yeah.
And then we've got another week between Christmas and New Year's. And then we're supposed to be open for New Year's. So for the week and a half between now and Christmas, what has to be done?
So this week, what's going to happen is, and this is what I hope happens. I think for the next few nights, I'm going to get a small rental truck, and I'm going to move in small portions of the back stock rooms here throughout the week. Just so
The
that
mysterious black hole of the back room.
the back room, whatever I can personally myself carry in and just drop it here. Then I believe that we, during the week, will have the people coming in to clean the carpets because they are pretty heinous. Hopefully the construction will finish up as far as that goes. And we'll get, all this extra stuff that should
Patch
be
the
here.
carpet and paint the walls and that kind of stuff.
Like,
out there.
I'm not really sure about the paint in the back rooms because it's not vital. So, I mean, I'll get to that, but it's not vital at this time. So that one, I don't know. But we'll get that going. The sign company should hopefully get started on getting that taken care of, and hopefully that'll be done. I don't know if it'll get done this week or it'll be, the week before Christmas or the week after Christmas. As long as it's done before the 1st, I'm happy. And then, the display cases should be coming in. We got 10 brand new display cases coming in.
10 6-foot display cases?
No, 6 foot and 4 4-foot are coming in, and then some cabinets. So hopefully those will get here because we're going to have to put them together, and that's going to take, who knows how long that's going to
And then you're going to keep the other 4 display cases that we have in the other 3 or 4 tall ones?
I don't know. I know we're going to keep at least one of them, the one where all the DS games are in right now. We're going to keep that one. And the other ones, I don't know, because one's got cracked glass. The other 2 are a little, shabby. These are all nice and match, so I don't know. And I almost feel like we have too many display cases at this point anyways. So once I get them over here, I'll know what we're keeping, what we're not keeping.
Are you going to move over all the 286 motherboards and the Pentium 2 processors and all that stuff from the back?
I don't know. See, we have a lot of older computer equipment from my previous move before I moved to that place, and I think since the sales on a lot of stuff, older computer equipment has been kind of slow. I think I'm going to drop a majority of that stuff before I move it over here and get it off our website.
Maybe we should build like an old Pentium 2 system with the parts just
I'm going to keep some parts just in case I need them, but
like a Windows
I'm
95
going to drop
machine.
90% of that computer stock into the dumpster. So we're going to get that going. And then, I think if we get that, the carpets, the displays, the fixtures, and get the back and move, we'll be set for the day after Christmas to get the store, which I think we can probably do in one day. If not, we have 2 days. I allotted 2 days of move time. And then the rest of the time we'll be building.
That reminds me, I need to tell you, I'm going to be sick those days.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna pull a Rick? The bus is,
I think
there's snow on the ground.
I've got the plague.
So, yeah, I don't know. It depends. And I'm not even really sure if I'm going to have to get more people involved in the move or, if we got it or whatever. But I got a week to decide that, and then I'll go from there. Because I'm trying to do this as cheap as possible because I've already spent a lot of money on this move. And I'm kind of concerned about how this is going to play out. Because not only do we have to put the store together before we open, I thought originally on January 1st, but I remember it's New Year's Day, so I don't know.
January 2nd.
Yeah, it might be January 2nd.
Or you might wait till Friday.
Although that's a Wednesday, so I'm not sure, because new comics come out, how that's going to
Well,
work
actually,
out.
comics technically go on sale on Tuesday that week. We're going to be closed on the day that those comics technically go on sale.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out right now.
Pick up your comics by appointment.
Yeah, that one's going to be a little rough. So I think, and then not only that, but we have to clean up the old place. I have to find all the keys for the doors that I don't use and get all my stank out of that building, I guess, and make sure all my stuff's out of there. Because we've been in that building for about 6 years or so there's a lot of crap in there. And then once we get over here, we just got to put everything away and make it look nice and make it presentable so we meet our target. So just a few things, just a couple hours will be good. So yeah, I'm a little stressed, but I think we should be able to do it.
Are you gonna put in a green screen in the studio?
I don't know. It depends on how Christmas goes. I've asked for a green screen for my wife and maybe my mother-in-law might have bought one. So I think, and I picked out a really nice one. So I think, I think it's like a 20-foot one by 10 or whatever.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully with lighting kits. So if that's what happens, then that'd be great. If not, it's not that expensive. It's only like $180.
Because it'd be nice to have like the one wall where we have like the couch and the potted plant and whatever for those scenes, and then the opposite wall be the green screen. We could just turn the camera around and shoot both directions.
Yeah. So the studio part, since you bring this up, the studio part of the store, it's probably not priority at the beginning.
What?
I think getting the store together is the first thing. But
Pish posh, make money.
sometime in January, before the end of January, we'll have that completely pieced together, I believe. Because I feel like we're going to have a 2-week growing pain situation going on here.
Yeah. But we do have some things in the pipeline that we're working on. There's some VG Losers reviews still floating out there that will be popping up. We got some toys. I've got a Metroplex to do a video on, and I've got the Gene Autry box set. I still got to watch. I've watched about 15 minutes of the 2,400 minutes of Gene Autry. So I don't know if I'm going to watch all of it. But
yeah, and so I got 1,000 Lego reviews and a couple other random toys I picked up. And I think once we get that established, we can start. I've been toying with the idea of doing a show about the store. Basically from the beginning.
But the random customers?
Kind of like a web show that's mostly true, like a reality show of the store, based on us setting up and how we progress throughout the years or whatever. But I thought that'd be an interesting concept. I don't know.
No.
We need more camera people, but technically the store is going to be wired with a lot of cameras, and depending on how nice that comes out, we might be able to use that footage.
You're going to hook up all those security cameras?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how. It's going to be kind of Clerk-esque. And I don't know if the quality's going to be good enough. If not, then we'll just have to.
We could always dub the voices later.
We'll have to shoot something. I wish we had more people for production people, like camera guys.
And editors.
Editors would be amazing. But, camera guys would be good too.
All right, so Christmas is coming. Besides a green screen kit, what else are you asking for Christmas? Anything big?
I have to give every year. This is how our Christmas goes. My wife and her family, they do lists. Like
Right.
we send each other, they send each other a list, and they all buy off each other's list. And my wife sends her list out every year, and there's 10 things that are reasonably priced, and there's 10 things that are completely ridiculous, like a new car, something expensive, and or it'd be like a new house or something like that. And then all her family buy all the cheap stuff. And all the expensive stuff is the only things that's left on her list for me.
Well, you need to buy earlier instead of putting it off.
No, because the thing is, she sends her list. I tell her, I said, send me a list that's just a list for me. And then send them, your random stuff. Because every time they buy all the stuff that I could buy, and I shop late as it is. So I had to buy her a couple expensive things that I really wasn't happy about. And but I got most of that on credit, so I'm okay. I'll pay for that later.
Well, you dropped like $600 yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
That's my wife and I, when we exchange gifts for Christmas, it's like, oh, here's something I know you wanted that was $5. I went ahead and picked it up for you. And that's all we do. We just do a tiny thing for each other. We just buy for the kids and the rest of the extended family, but for each other, we don't spend really anything.
Well, since I have a new daughter coming in a couple weeks, also, not to make my life any more crazy, I'm hoping that having the other child, maybe not the next year, but the following year, might make her go, we need to back up a little bit and focus more on the kids. And then I'll be more happy because, personally, I don't need that much stuff. Being in this business that I'm in, I get all the games and toys and comics that I want, basically on a daily basis. So I really don't. And this is the kind of stuff that, we'd ask for Christmas. I don't really need much. I have to make a bunch of crap up on my list of stuff I would like to have, but I don't really care to have.
Well, see, that's kind of like with my parents. That's my side of the family. They all do lists also, and it's my mom. She just kind of humors us because her list is like, oh, I'd like a nice Santa Claus cookie jar, and it's like something random. It's almost like you're doing a scavenger hunt, running around town trying to find the stuff for mom. She wants Christmas tree bookends, something, random. But it's like I'm trying to come up with stuff, and it's like I can't tell my sister like, oh, I want the Mega Bloks USS Enterprise, because she'll hand me a book with like fish. Like she had no idea, what it is. So I just
Well, you
I
can
have
send
to.
her pictures or something. Right?
What I end up doing is just like asking for like random stuff, and if I get something in the ballpark, like I want a popcorn maker. So last year I got one of those like. It looks like the movie theater popcorn makers with a little kettle on top that spits out the popcorn. So like now the big thing is they have a bunch of these breakfast sandwich makers.
Right.
So I'm getting randomly one of those.
Do you eat a lot of breakfast sandwiches?
I used to have one of those toasters
Uh-huh.
that it would like cook the meat and the eggs on the side while it would make the toast, and the toast would pop up and the eggs would be ready. So you would just take the eggs and put it on the toast and have a little sandwich. So now I'm gonna get one of these machines where it's like you put in the bread, you crack an egg, you put in a couple strips of bacon, you put another piece of bread, and then you close it like a waffle iron, and you come back 5 minutes later and you got a cooked sandwich sitting in there.
See, it's funny you say that because I decided that also I wanted like a lot of those as seen on TV food things, and on my list because I do pick random weird stuff, and I'm sure none of them understand because none of them get the toy thing.
Right.
Like the
yeah,
toys
yeah.
and books. They're like, what? What are you doing? They only kind of get it because I do this for a living. So when I send my list out, I send links to Amazon. I made an Amazon gift wish list that had pictures and direct links to everything. And I would say, buy it here, it's the best price. Don't buy it here because it's not a good price. But this is what I want for reference because I was afraid of that. But I asked for a bacon wave cook thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh
With
yeah,
the bacon
make
slips.
a crispy bacon in the microwave.
Yeah, and then I asked for a ramen noodle cooker that goes in the microwave.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen those.
Okay.
Cooks in like half the time.
Yeah, like 30 seconds, you got perfectly ramen noodles. And
Right.
then, I saw something, just kind of weird stuff like that I bought. I saw there's a hot dog toaster.
That does the buns.
The hot dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need that, but I told my wife, I was like, let's buy this for our daughter. She'll love it. She loves hot dogs. She's like, she'll never use that. I'm like, what are you talking about? She loves hot dogs. I said, if we had the machine, she'd probably eat hot dogs a little more often because we just buy some hot dogs, pop it in there, and she'd eat it.
Well, that's the type of thing you could bring here. And when she's running around the store here, and you're trying to get work done, she's like, I'm hungry. We'll make yourself a hot dog. And you go, bloop, bloop, psh, and be ready to go. But see, like a couple of years ago, like I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, my family asked, what do you want for Christmas? And it wasn't toys, because all the toys that I want, we get, doing the website and the shows and whatever. And guys like Nick Ochoa, you can just mention. Like, oh, I think there was something about 3 years back. It had like 3 wheels and a triangle on top, whatever. And it's like the next day he mailed you one. He's like, oh, I found one of these things for you, whatever it is. So I didn't have any toys on there. I had some movies, I had some books, that kind of stuff. And there was one last present under the Christmas tree. And so mom, hands it to me like, you got one present left. So I rip it open, and it's Hulk Hogan and Goldberg WCW 2-pack that she found at like an antique mall. And they've got like magnets on their hands. They had fists with magnets, and it came with a steel chair. So they could put the steel chair in their hands with the magnets, and then you squeeze, and they smack each other in the head with the steel chair. She's like, it's just not Christmas if you're not getting a toy. So that's the type of stuff I end up getting at Christmas when I end up getting toys.
Well, I couldn't tell from that story if that was an awesome item or not.
It's a little bit of both.
Did you like it? Was that your thing?
I mean, it's one of those things where, I would sit like on the couch for like 10 minutes and just kind of amuse myself, smacking them in the head with the chair. If you do it hard enough, then it pops out of the magnets, and so it's like you totally did a wicked blow, on them. But for the most part, as far as toys go, if there's anything that you can't tell your mom, like, oh, I'd really like to get a Spirit of Hordak, but it's never.
Did I tell you the story about? I don't think it was last year. It might have been last year. It might have been the year before. I got one of my first toys from my mother-in-law.
And what was that?
It was a big Lego pirate ship, and I opened it, and they were like sitting on the couch because we have to go to her parents' house and open presents.
And then you're there for like 18 hours.
And we're there for forever, all day long. But anyways, so I'm opening the present, and this is the first time, that I asked for, I had toys on my list. And I opened it. It was the Black Pearl from the Pirates.
Pirates of the
Big
Caribbean.
ship, And I opened it, and they were sitting on the couch watching me open it, and you can tell they were like, is he going to like it?
Like they couldn't tell if it was a joke gift or a real gift?
Because, it was like $100, item. So I opened it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, because I wanted the ship, but I didn't want to pay for it. It was $100. I really wanted it, and so many times I had almost bought it.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, cool. And they're looking at me like, is that a good thing? I'm like, yeah, no, I wanted this. It's cool. But I'm like, I don't want to be excited because I can already tell they think it's weird that I'm getting this big toy. And, and honestly, it's not like I'm going to put it up on a shelf and look at it every day. It's going into my one day I'll deal with the situation pile. But yeah, you could just tell they were like, you got a toy, grown man. And I'm like, thanks. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's one of those things
That's
that you should open that, and then it's like, well, we're going to be here another 16 hours. Dump it out and just start building.
No,
Have
you
your
can't
pirate
do
ship
that.
at the end of the
You
day.
lose pieces. It's in that. I mean, a ship like that, that's.
We'll put a little bit of glue on the
that's
pieces
4 hours.
while you're putting it together.
That's 4 hours.
Yeah. I don't know. Although I did buy toys. I mean, obviously I buy toys for my kids, but then my sister, she has a daughter that is 6 and a son that is going to be turning 1 this year. And so, actually, well, he's turning 1 in like 2 days, but when he comes for Christmas, it'll be like his birthday, whatever. So it's like we can actually buy toys for them. And I know they live in New York City, and they've got like a condo in like this revamped part of Brooklyn, and it's like they're always taking the subway, and they live that kind of like New York City life. So we're like, oh well, we're gonna get you a fake Duck Dynasty beard, and I bought a Superman playset, the Imaginext Superman playset for Dex. So he's gonna have like this little Superman set and a little Batman with a jetpack that he can use to play with it. So we get to be like the fun aunt and uncle that get them like all the cool toys that their parents won't get, because it's not like organic, made from recycled materials from a Hoboken landfill.
Yeah, my sister-in-law, same situation.
It's not like an art project that somebody sells that has like toys hot glued onto it. Like yeah, you're getting a playset, kid. Like you're gonna get some action figures. Like you're gonna have one of those for Christmas. So that's kind of fun to be able to do that.
So I wanted to talk about, some of the things that we do before Christmas. We're not going to talk about Christmas stuff so much. I mean, we are, but we're not going to talk about that stuff. We'll say that for the Christmas episode that's coming up. But I wanted to talk about, what people do charity-wise for Christmas time before Christmas starts. And one of the things that we do as tradition in our family is obviously we do a lot of Toys for Tots. Being an ex-Marine, that was always a big charity in my situation. So I always donate money. I used to do toys, but here's my problem with bins and toys. I don't feel like the kids are really getting those toys. Like it goes through so many hands. I feel like at some point because I want to dump really awesome toys into the bins, like vintage, nice stuff. But I don't want it to be pilfered at some point.
Right.
So I just resorted to giving cash for Toys for Tots for the last few years. But we do go to the Tree of Wishes, which is at our local mall, and for the basically the orphan kids and other charities. Well, I don't know. It said orphans and other misfortunate children that can't obviously can't afford stuff. And they give you these cards, and they put, a boy or girl, what ages, and they ask for random things. And last year we did about 4 kids, and this year we did 6. And I let my daughter pick out 3 girls, and I just read the names. She picks based on their name and what kind of toys they want, if she wants to take them. So she wants girls her age that wants pink princess stuff, and then we find those. And then what I did this year is we always did girls. I went and grabbed 3 boys, and I picked them in ages between 8 and 12, and I flipped through them and found stuff that I had in my store, and I'm just going to fill those wishes. And I found a bunch of people that wanted Pokemon. There was a lot of Pokemon card requests from boys, and I thought that was kind of weird in a way. So I'm going to put together some packages and put those in there.
Well, Philip and Libby, my kids, each grab one person off the tree, and they each pick a boy or a girl. And then we always make sure, it always has like toys, and then also has sizes for clothes. And some of them, they'll say like, oh, they want race cars and a racetrack, and they need snow boots, or something like that. So we always make sure like we get them a toy, but we also get them, the clothing, a jacket, or they need warm gloves, or something like that. So we always make sure we do that kind of stuff. But then, like when we bought toys, the kid wanted race cars and a racetrack. Well, we went out and we were looking at all the stuff, and it was like, well, you're only supposed to spend like $20 or something like that on it.
See, I didn't even know how much you're supposed to spend because I couldn't find anything that says about how much.
Yeah, there's like a little plaque at the bottom of the tree.
Okay. Well, we spent about 25.
Well, I mean, you're in the ballpark. So we were looking at all of it, and we found that the week we were in Toys R Us buying stuff, all the nano speeds. Is it nano speed or microchargers? Maybe that's what it was. Microchargers. They're like little cars like this big, and they have like these little like rechargeable battery things, and you hook it up, and it like powers them up. And then you get this racetrack, and you put the car on it, and you launch it, and the car, like in scale, going on the tracks is going like 240 miles an hour or something, outrageous like that. So we bought a couple of these packs of track because you could take the track and you could make your own loops and make your own banks and build all this other stuff into it. So it's like if we had gotten Hot Wheels and track, he would have gotten like the orange loop and a couple cars. But then this way he got like a whole bunch of cars, he got a couple chargers, and he can build his own, crazy track with it. So, it was one of those things where all of that kind of fun stuff. Then my daughter picks out the one, and it's like the girl wants educational books and a calculator and, something else. She's like 14.
Yeah, I saw some cards like that.
And so, of course, that's the one that she picks out. So I hand it to my wife. I'm like, well, you guys have fun. We're going to go look at race cars. You guys knock yourself out and do that. But there's a house here in town that a guy runs as a Toys for Tots pickup spot, actually, out of his own house. And he is the guy who has like the 5,000 lights that are all synchronized to music. And like you drive by his house and you put your radio on like 97.9 or whatever,
yeah,
and you can hear his Christmas music.
Yeah.
It's like right off of North Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got a shed in the back. He dresses up like Santa Claus, and he'll actually stand there in the shed like this. And then you drive by and he starts to wave and the kids start to point and he's like, hey, come in. And the kids all freak out, because they think it's a mannequin or a robot or whatever.
It's already sounded really bad.
But he's got a Toys for Tots bin and he collects. And what he actually does, he goes to the dollar store and buys cheap dollar store toys and sets them up for the kids. So like my kids come, we give them, like $20 for the Toys for Tots, or we buy a bunch of toys that go in the bin. He gives the kids like a dollar store toy. So our kids are getting a toy from Santa, and they're like, hey, we're getting a toy from Santa. This is cool, even though it's like a cheap thing. They don't care.
Right.
It's a free toy.
Right.
But then he's also collecting toys for Tots, and he gets good stuff. And so I also do the thing where every so often I go through my basement, and it's like, when I find stuff like on clearance, I always just buy it because it's cheap. So it's like Thor figures were like 97 cents. So I've got like 20 Thor figures still in the package, never open, sitting there, and the trash pack. One time I was in Walgreens and the trash pack were being clearanced out at 49 cents, so I just bought the display box.
Yeah, I never see that stuff.
So I always take that kind of stuff at the end of the year.
This guy's like the luckiest clearance guy of all time.
I always grab that stuff at the end of the year and take it. So it's like stuff that came out, this year, but it was on random clearance at Walmart or Big Lots or Walgreens or one of those type places, and then I just kind of dump all that stuff, and it cleans out part of my basement that I can refill with toys for the next year. But yeah, you got to know how to find those good deals.
Yeah, I don't know. I never see that.
You're like, well, I went to Walgreens. I didn't see anything.
I see the deals are like 20% off, 30% off, sometimes 40%. You find the deals where it's like 98% off.
It's like normally $2.49, on sale 27 cents.
Yeah, I don't find that.
I'll take these.
Yeah, because I mean, literally, I would buy that and bring them to the store.
Yeah, well, you would resell them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I just either give them to my kids as rewards, open them myself so I can play with them, or give them to Toys for Tots at the end of the year.
Yeah, we need new product. We need it cheap. So that's what I do with it.
Well, now that we have to pay for this place, I don't know, maybe I'll...
Yeah. If you see those deals, let me know. We need that stuff.
But anyway.
Okay, well...
So what's the plan for the Christmas episode?
I don't know. I think we're...
Is it just you and me?
Getting Rick... Okay, let me explain something about Rick. Getting Rick to agree to do anything and actually have him do anything after work is incredibly hard. Because now he's got his girl, and he's always got some situation going on.
Oh, my band's got to play. We got invited to play. Oh, really? Where? Open mic night.
Yeah, so he's just one of those guys where you can't get a commitment out of him anymore. He's just too good. You know, he's got to be up his girl's butt at all times. So it's hard to give him away. But Scotty's good for coming through. You just got to.
He should be there for Christmas at least.
Yeah, he's good. You just got to tell him to be there, and he'll be there. Yeah, Rick, I don't know. He'll pull the I don't have no money.
Which is fine because like last year he made artwork for everybody.
that was
and I was like, yeah, that's totally cool. Or we'll give him like Dino Quest figures and he can customize them to look like us or something. Like Merry Christmas. Like that's fine.
You love to use that reference, Dino Quest.
I love the Dino Quest figures. Talk about buying stuff cheap. All right. Well, we do have one thing to talk about. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Our toy. Oh, here it is.
It's
our toy ran
the
away.
Other way, behind you.
Right, we've got one of the new Robocop figures. This is from Jada Toys.
We didn't zoom in. We just walked closer.
Woo! So I guess we'll reconfigure the camera somehow to get close-ups and whatever. But we're going to open this new Robocop. This is Robocop 3.0 from the new Robocop remake. We're going to open them up. We're going to take a look at how Jada Toys does for their I guess this is their inaugural line. I don't know what else. I don't know if Jada Toys has done action figures before this, but we'll crack this open. We'll take a look, and we'll do a little segment on that.
All right.
All right, guys. We've got Robocop 3.0 from the new remake. This is from Jada Toys, Jada. Not familiar with Jada. As far as I know, this is their first action figure line, but if I'm wrong, please correct me on YouTube. I know you guys are going to anyway. But the Robocop remake, I have to admit that when they first announced they were doing the remake, I was kind of upset because remakes are always terrible, it seems, every time they do them. But the more I see of this remake, the more I actually don't hate it. And I'm a big Robocop fan. Scotty Cash will tell you, he and I fight over Robocop toys all the time. So when I saw this in the store, I knew I was going to have to buy it. Now, if you look at the box here, you can see there's the new Robocop logo for the movie, which looks a lot like the old Robocop logo from the movie. Just now the uppercase letters are bumped up instead of bumped down. No big change there as far as that goes. The figure in the package itself, I have to say my initial impression of looking at it in there, it looks pretty nice. It's got a nice finish to it. The detail looks fine. The flesh color looks okay on him. I don't have any real problems with the details or the coloring. As far as the likeness goes, you're just getting a mouth. You can see that there's a picture of him on the box, and if you want to compare the picture on the box with the figure, you can do that, but it's kind of a fool's errand at this point because you're only looking at two lips and a little bit of cheek. So it's kind of like trying to figure out who Batman is just by looking at the mask. So not a whole lot there, but I have to say as far as the overall first impressions of looking at it in the box, this one looks okay. Now, I did go through all the ones that were on the peg. All they had was the Robocop 3.0. They didn't have the 1.0, or I would have bought it. But some of them had some paint drops of other colors on them. You could see that they had drops, little drops of silver on them or something inside the package. So I grabbed this one because it looked fairly clean, looked pretty good. So this is the one we're going to go with. So if you look on the back, you can see that they've got pretty much every language. Everything's repeated 3 times on there. They do it in English, I think French and Spanish. I'm guessing, not 100% sure because I don't speak any other languages. I took a little bit of Latin, but that doesn't really help you out when you're trying to figure out what the stuff is on the package. The funny thing is, the copyright on the bottom of the package is actually copyright 2014. It's not 2014 yet. So I guess right now it's safe for you to go ahead and bootleg them. But once 2014 hits, they got the rights, buddy, so you don't want to mess with that. You can also see some of the other figures on the line, like the Robocop 1.0. You can see they've got a motorcycle, they've got a taller figure. There is other stuff available. I don't know that I'm going to buy all of it, but there's a pretty good chance that if I like this figure, the rest of them will be coming home with me. So let's go ahead and rip this puppy open then. Old style. I love the old style packs like this. I don't like the new ones that are all plasticky and boxy with tabs and whatever. I like being able to rip it open in that old toy way. Let's see, he's got a little ninja belt here holding him in place in the plastic. So if you want to be a Taekwondo master, you do have that ability. Pop him out. And he comes with 2 weapons. He's got some sort of bigger machine gun here with a silver armrest that looks like it goes on his forearm there to give it stability. And then the new version of the classic Robocop handgun, his rapid fire pistol, looks a little different than the old one. It's got black accent in the middle and it's got some sort of red LED, I'm guessing is some sort of ammo indicator, but we won't know for sure till we see the movie. But anyway, I'm glad to see that they at least keep that motif. Figure itself here, let's take a look. It looks like a lot of the same type of articulation you're seeing in your 4-inch figures nowadays. No wrist, but he does have elbow, and there is a ball joint in the middle to make it rotate around, as well as your regular joint there. We've got our shoulder joints that rotate as well as move. We've got our neck articulation that moves around. Hips look a little funky. Looks like there's a ball joint in there, but they've put this piece of armor on top that kind of covers it up, which is actually kind of nice. If you look at a lot of the Marvel Legends figures or some of those DC collectibles line of figures, that ball joint kind of sticks out and looks really weird on them, but the armor on the leg kind of covers it up so you don't see it as much. You've got the joint there in the knee, but not in the foot. So no foot or ankle, but you got the rest of your kind of standard articulation there. The armor in the leg does make it a little difficult to pose it in some situations, but overall, not bad. That's not a bad figure. Now let's take the guns here, try to get them in his hands. And we've got the pistol. Fits okay. He's got his finger on this ungloved hand in the trigger position, and it lines up pretty well. Actually, you can slide it right in there. All right, it's in there. So his finger can go right in that trigger hole. You don't actually see that a lot on these size figures, that it actually sculpts out to fit exactly, and that one is. So I have to give him credit for that. This bigger gun here, slide it in, it's got that forearm. Okay, here's one slight problem. If you look at it, it's a little warped and bent. This section is actually kind of bent down a little lower than the rest of it. So when you go to try to put it into his hand here, it doesn't quite line up and give it the stability it needs. So it is kind of a little loose in there. And there is no actual trigger hole for the finger, so the finger is just kind of stuck onto the side of the gun. But overall, it kind of works there. But it just looks a little funky since that doesn't quite rest the way it should because it's bent. But his original gun, if you go with the classic pistol, it fits in there exactly. And that looks pretty good. If you've been following the information on the movie, the trailers and the clips, his classic silver look is still retained in the movie in what they call his 1.0 suit, which is silver and black. They decide later on in the movie to streamline him, make him all black so he looks sleeker and whatever, and that's what they call the 3.0 suit. We don't know what the 2.0 suit is yet. We have to wait. Maybe that's some sort of spoiler for the movie or whatever. I don't know. But I have to say, overall, I like the look of it. The articulation's pretty good. He's in the right scale. This is the scale I prefer. I don't like the bigger figures. I like some of these smaller figures. The feet are holding on to the ground. He's not toppling over. He's sturdy. You do have a mix. If you look at the armor, you have a mix of matte and glossy, depending on the different pieces of armor. So that actually looks pretty nice. And there are some small paint accents. You've got red in there, which I'm sure are LEDs in the movie. They actually did put those into the figure, so yeah, it looks a lot nicer than I expected. There's no peg holes in the feet though, so if you've got a figure stand, you're going to have to use one that clamps the foot instead of one that goes in the heel. That's kind of a bother, but not the biggest problem in the world. Yeah, okay. All right. Overall, Robocop 3.0, I'm going to give a thumbs up on this figure. I actually like this thing a lot, and as I see more of these figures hitting the shelves, I'm going to grab them. Guys, thanks for watching. We're glad we had you here today.
We appreciate it.
We love you.
You're the best.
You're my favorite. You right there. Not you, but you right there. My favorite.
You go, girl.
That's right. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, you can find us at popculturenetwork.com. Also, you can come to the message boards, the official message boards of the Pop Culture Network. But we don't call them message boards. We call it a forum, because you come to jointheforums.com, and that's the official spot. You're going to find all of us and all the great people that we hang out with just chatting it up all day.
Also, be sure to check us out on Facebook. Just search out Pop Culture Network and like us there. A lot of good conversation going on there. You can also find us on Google Plus at, what's the name of that one?
Pop Culture Network 1.
Okay, real easy to find. You can just search Pop Culture Network. You'll find it there as well. And don't forget to check us out on Twitter for all the random updates that we have during the week with new shows and new things that we have going on. So you can find that at Pop Culture
Net. It's
Pop
Pop Culture Net.
I don't use Twitter that much. I'm sorry.
You're the one who tweets everything on our website.
Yeah, well, yes, but I don't use it.
Oh, I see. You just tweet through it. You don't
tweet
actually
through
pay
it. I
attention.
don't use it.
Also, you can call our 24-hour voicemail line, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's area code 217-953-4025. You can leave a voicemail message, and it'll record up to 10 minutes. Although, if you want us to use it in some format, try to keep it like maybe 20 seconds. I mean, the 10-minute voice messages you guys leave are fantastic, but you know you can't really use them for anything. But thanks for leaving them.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And also, you can come see us live in person at our store. Currently, as of today, we're still in our 1021 Junction Circle, Springfield, Illinois location. But sometime in December, we'll be over at our new location, and I'll give you the address when we move there because I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Is that the Yard Shopping Center?
It's the Yard Shopping Center.
Or is that the Chatham Square?
It's about a block away, the Yard Shopping Center.
Okay.
So it's only about a block, 2 blocks away from where we are currently, so it's not like it's going to be that hard to find. But we are here Monday through Saturday, so you can come check us out and see us in person and check out all the great stuff you see behind us.
And if you want to buy any of this great stuff, like this Batman crime scene evidence, the Dark Knight figure,
don't want to come here physically,
you can go to shoppcn.com and pick this bad boy up.
At shoppcn.com, we have taken the old format away, and now it goes directly to our eBay site until we replace that site. So from there, you can see everything we have. We have over 100,000 items listed on there, and you can go crazy town. It's Christmas coming up, so
basically all the crap in this store we put online in the online store. So every comic book, every action figure, every video game, all 20 billion DVDs are on the website. So anything you're looking for, if we've got it, it's going to be there.
And I know you're saying, wow, that seems like that takes forever to do. Yes,
yes, it does. It really sucks.
So please help contribute and buy my stuff.
And thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys next time.